Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable the podcast. It is Saturday, November 29th. All I gotta say is, what the hell was that? We all know what we're talking about. I don't need to spell it out for you. That freaking Eagles game. Whoa, what an ugly game, huh? Oh my God, am I gonna rant today about that shit? Look what I'm wearing. My Flyers hat. That's how bad it's gotten. No, the Flyers are good. The Flyers are the only team worth a damn in the city. The Eagles suck. The Phillies, who knows with them? What the hell are they doing? And the Sixers are just there. Will Joel Embiid ever play another game? Maybe we'll see him like next year sometime around April. What the hell? Let's stick with these Eagles, okay? What an ugly game. A 10. I made some notes here. I got to put my glasses on because I can't see with them damn close up. Oh, my blood pressure. Good thing I took my Losartan this morning. That's all I got to say. All right, so here's the thing. Bears come in 7-point underdogs to the Eagles. Eagles need this game because they need to stay on top of the NFC. Why? Because you get that bye, that number one seed. You get a bye first week of the playoffs. These other teams play each other. You get the rest. And most importantly, you get home field advantage. All these other teams would have to come into Philadelphia in order to get to the Super Bowl. They have to play in the wind and the cold and the snow in January. And that's what you work for all year. You get the home field advantage. It's a true advantage. Playing in the Northeast. But, the Eagles throw it away. They throw it away. They're down to the number 3 seed now. The thing of it is, the Bears coming in. We should have known this. The Bears know how to play in this kind of weather. They're like a Northeast team. They play in cold, windy weather out in the Windy City in Chicago. They know how to play. I'm so upset. They run the ball. Run the ball. DeAndre Swift, remember him? He used to play for the Eagles. He should have known better that he was going to come in and kick the Eagles' ass. This other kid they have, I don't even know what his name is. Mahunga, whatever. He was like a little bowling ball. What a burp he is, huh? And good receivers. Caleb Williams, quarterback who actually runs the ball. Duh. What a novelty, running a quarterback who runs the ball. And the thing is, they didn't just come in here and beat the Eagles yesterday, 24-15. They kicked our ass. They came into the link. The Frozen fans were there, drinking all day in the parking lot, getting all tanked up to go into the lake and root on their birds. There was a blackout. The team were all black. They encouraged the fans to wear black. Everybody was up for this game. A Black Friday game. Go in there and beat the Bears. 7-point favorites. You're going to do it. No, what happens? The Bears come in and kick our ass. And they didn't just win the game, my friends. They kicked our ass. That's not sugarcoating. They ran the ball down the Eagles' throats. They imposed their will on our defense. Our defense looked like a Swiss cheese. That's how many flaws it was. I mean, they didn't just finesse their way down the field, thinking and dunking, and then they ran the ball and they kicked our ass. To come in here, world champions, and be defeated like that on our own home field is embarrassing. I hope the players are embarrassed. What are they? Fat and sassy? Oh, we won the world championship. Well, our shit doesn't stink. We don't stink. We're we're smelling ourselves. We don't stink. Oh, we don't have to play hard. We already won a world championship. Hey, come in here. We're gonna beat them anyway, just because we already won. Blah 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 blah. No, when you don't try, when you don't give that effort, that's what happens. These other teams come in, they're hungry. They're hungry. The Bears are hungry. And they're coming in and they're feasting on the Eagles. All right. I need to get my glasses back once we can read this shit that I wrote down here. Oh my God, am I upset? Jesus. Yeah, I already said, where's the passion? Where's the passion? Are you going to play? Where's the fight? Where's the passion? The team looked dead. They looked dead. And the Bears came in all hyped up. They were having fun. They were laughing, joking, and the Eagles just looked like they were stoned, like they're all smoking the wacky weed in the locker room. That Jalen Hurts looked like a deer in the headlights out there with his eyes again. And, he looked like that 2 years ago. Remember when the Eagles collapsed in 2023? That's what he looked like. Then last year was a brilliant year. He played better. The team went on and won the Super Bowl. And you thought, all right, Jalen Hurts is over that. He's going to be an elite quarterback finally, up there with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and all the rest of them. But no, he looks stupid. He's sitting on the bench and he's moping around, moping and moping. He looks so good. His lip is out. He's giving you the pout. Like he's ready to freaking cry. Little girl. I'll tell you what. Body language means a lot. And he's just the supposed leader on this team. He's bringing everybody else down. Jalen Hurts is a Debbie Downer. He's a Debbie Downer. Now, I'm not calling for him to be benched like some of the other stupid fans online. Oh, you got to bench him. Put Tanner McKee in. Tanner McKee, I asked. If Tanner McKee was so good, he'd be starting. He'd be playing on. You're riding with Jalen Hurts, you're giving him all this money. You got to ride with him. Live or die with him. If he sucks by the end of the year, then you think about maybe doing something, but not now. Now you got 5 freaking games left. You got to live and die with this guy. Does he need to be better? Yes. He missed open receivers. He refuses to run. I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. It's already proven that when he runs the RPO, when he runs, the Eagles' offense is a lot better. See, I agree with this about the offensive coordinator, Kevin Patula, or whatever the hell his name is. He's got to go because this offense is so vanilla. Sometimes you need a little chocolate and strawberry too. You know what I'm saying? It's too vanilla. And there's no imagination. Look at the Bears yesterday. They were running wide receivers off them and running and handing the ball to them. Right? They were doing all kinds of stuff. They showed a little imagination and a little creativity. Our offensive coordinator sucks. He just sucks. And this is a guy who never called plays before. And all of a sudden, you expect him to call plays for the world champions? Really? I don't care if he is Nick Sirianni, buddy. Bromance, whatever bromance. Hey, get rid of his ass. He's bringing you down. This is a $1 billion franchise, $1 billion organization, and you're being hung up by this turd. I didn't know what to call him yet. And all of a sudden, the word turd came to mind. Well, anyway, it's true. He's bringing you down. Don't get rid of his ass. Don't fire him. Just demote him. Let him carry the water or do something. Water boy. What the hell is Nick Sirianni? Huh? walking up and down the sidelines talking. So, you know, why don't you call the plays? If you're so good, call the damn plays. It's your team, it's your offense. Call the plays. What's the problem? Maybe you can't do it. That's why they took the play calling away from me to begin. Maybe you can't do it. Well, they get somebody in who can do it. Get Frank Reich. He's not doing it anymore. Get him in. Let him call the plays and run the offense. It is disgusting. The only one worth a damn is A.J. Brown. And I've been saying this on this program and online for a long time now. A.J. Brown is the man. Stop with A.J. Brown. Gotta trade A.J. Brown. No, A.J. Brown. At least he shows some fight. A.J. Brown, at least he plays hard. Look at yesterday. 10 catches, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. What more can the man do? Right? And he shows heart. I always said that I think the Eagles underuse A.J. Brown. For what they paid for him, as far as draft picks, what they're paying him, he's an animal and he's in his prime. He's big and he's fast. Give the ball to A.J. Brown. I would love them to target him 15 times a game. This is a guy who can, like Justin Jefferson, who can catch between 10 and 15 balls a game and consistently get a 100 yards a game. But these Eagles, they go into this funk sometimes when they don't show them the ball. I know. They got so many weapons. Dallas Goedert, they didn't use him yesterday. Devontae Smith, well, he's been hurt. Saquon Barkley, what the hell's wrong with him? That too much rubber chicken. That's my thing. He was on the rubber chicken circuit, the banquet circuit, making all these freaking commercials. And too much. Well, we knew coming into the year. Come. He's not going to have the year that he had. Few can. You know he was going to digress. Not this much. And Tank Bigsby, where the hell is he? Averaging 7 yards a carry. Didn't even see him yesterday. If Barkley's having an off game, you put the Tank in there and you let him run the ball. The Eagles needed to run the ball yesterday like the Bears. It was windy out there. You can't throw the ball there. You can barely kick them. Yes, A.J. Brown had a good game, but Jalen Hurts sucked. Run the damn ball. I get it. The offensive line ain't what it used to be. I know that. The offensive line isn't what it used to be. Lane Johnson's not there. The other guys are getting older and they suck. But, no. Okay, Bigsby last game didn't seem to have a problem. Saquon Barkley's not that whole hard enough. Is he a step slower? Well, they went all the way to the Super Bowl last year. Over 2,000 yards rushing. You would think the man's tired, right? The man just doesn't have it as much. Maybe he needs a year to recoup, to recharge his batteries. I don't know what will. But he ain't the same player, I'll say it. And, when teams are putting the 8 men in the box and daring you to throw the ball on a windy afternoon, what are you going to do? It's open, it's there. Jalen Hurts isn't hitting you. I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words, even though I'm talking. The team, something's wrong with the team. And I get it. They have holes. It's Howie Roseman. God bless him. The GM did not build. He got us some off the defensive line help with Phillips. He got us some secondary help. But he didn't get us offensive line. Not enough, anyway, at the trade deadline. Not enough. So anyway, I don't know. These guys aren't good enough. Are the other teams hyped to play the world champions? They're hungrier than we are. And that's what bothers me. The Eagles, not only did they lose yesterday, but they sort of gave up. You know, they just said, they rolled over like dogs. Sorry, Coco. And, and just said, scratch my belly. And that's all they did. Ah, yeah, yeah. Let's see what other stuff I had. I already touched on a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Oh yeah, the tush push. Well, maybe teams figured it out. Instead of trying to stop Jalen Hurts from tush pushing that yard, go for the ball. That's exactly what the Bears did yesterday. Oh, Jalen Hurts was chugging and chugging and trying to get that yard. The Bears are clawing at the ball, clawing, and they forced the fumble. Maybe that's the way you combat the tush push. You don't actually stop Jalen Hurts, but you go for the ball. You go for the ball. I don't know. In that situation, the tush push was warranted, but you don't use it all the time. Why not just use the tush push at the goal line? It seems like they're using it too much. I don't Nick Sirianni, he's another pain in the ass to me too. What's with this guy? And at the press conference, he's like, "Well, I got to look at the film. I got to look. You weren't watching the game, huh? I got to look at the film." Well, you're asked questions about Hurts. You're asked questions about Barkley. You're asked questions about the defense, the offensive line, and you say, "I got to look at the film." Weren't you watching the game? Oh, I hate people. I hate coaches like that who say, "I got to look at the film." You know what, fans, friends? That's an answer that's unacceptable. That's an answer saying, "I don't know what to say." All right, I know what to say and I don't want to say it. It's not like he has to look at the film. He just doesn't want to tell us the truth, which is the team was unprepared, which is his fault. The team was unmotivated, which is his fault. And maybe they're just not good enough. Maybe they're smelling really cool. I'm just saying. And he doesn't know how to handle it. He doesn't know what to do. I'll tell you one thing. If he doesn't make a move and change his Kevin Petula guy, his job may be up the creek. Don't put it past Mr. Norrie. Mr. Norrie did not look like a happy man in the booth yesterday. He was flicking his tongue. Did you ever see this guy? And this guy comes out with his tongue up. Wasn't happy. That's a sign when Mr. Norrie shows his tongue a lot. That's a sign that he's not happy. Hey, we gotta laugh a little bit. And you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. He's pissed. They didn't show how Roseman. Who knows what he's a good one. But don't put it past Mr. Norrie. If this team crashes again like they did in 2023, don't put it past Mr. Norrie saying, "I've had enough of this shit. Goodbye, Nick Sirianni." Now, I don't think he'll do that because Sirianni just won the Super Bowl and Sirianni's sort of like a puppet in the front office. Yes, Mr. Norrie. Yes, Mr. Norrie. Yes, Mr. Norrie. Yes, Mr. Norrie. But you never know. Look at Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl and he was shown the door. He was kicked in the ass after a while, right? Right? Am I right? So you never know. So Nick Sirianni needs to shape up here, ship out. Do I have to go in the locker room and kick some ass? I will. What about this? The fans are on there saying bench hurts on social media. What kind of freaking fans are that? You can't bench Hurts. Not now. Not now. You're already invested in Jalen Hurts. You got to ride it out with him. He won you a Super Bowl. Sometimes the fan of what have I done? What have you done for me lately? And I agree, I'm on here ranting like a fool. I'm ranting. But it's because we're frustrated, it's because we love the team and we want the team to do good. We had our day last year. We were the king of the hill, and we still are. We're still the reigning Super Bowl champs until we lose and get knocked in. But we had our day. Maybe it's somebody else's chance to have their day. The season's not over. Eagles could come back, run the table, maybe gain the #1 seed again, and all is well, right? But does this team give you any hope? Not me. I don't have much faith. I'm an Eagle fan, and I'm always going to root for the Eagles, but do they give you hope as of today? Sit down and look at yourself in the mirror. Does this team give you hope? No matter you could be the biggest Eagle fan in the world. Does this team give you hope right now? If so, why? What have they done to give you hope? And this isn't just a Bear game. This is all season long, especially the offense. I mean, you're already scoring like 15 freaking points a game, which is a shame. Look at all the talent they have. Barkley, Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen, Dallas Scott. Where was he yesterday? They have a lot of talent on this offense. They should be doing better than scoring 15 points a game. That's my point. Jesus. All right, let's see what I'm crap on. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. When Jake Elliott missed that extra point, that was a killer. Because not only did it not tie the game 10-10, it was sort of a downer, wasn't it? He missed the kick, and it was still 10-9. So the Eagles got all that far, and then you're still behind. And it ruined the strategy for the whole game because Sirianni was like a point behind. And as it turned out later in the game, that was a big issue. But what the hell, Jake Elliott? That's your home stadium. That's your home field. You should know how to kick in those conditions. I mean, the Bear kicker, he's coming in from the Windy City, Chicago. He didn't seem to have any problems. He kicked some field goals and extra points. He didn't have problems. But our guy, he shanks one to the left and he changes the whole thing. He really, somebody stuck a pin in the Eagles. All the air went out of the Eagles. It was a downer, a dummy downer when he did that. Yeah. And, you got to ask yourself. I mean, this thing about going for two at the end. Yeah, Eagles were down 15. They scored a touchdown. So they're down 9. They have an option. They can either kick the extra point and be down 8 points with about 5-6 minutes to go. One score game. You have some hope. You have a little momentum. Or you could try for 2 right there. If you make it, great. You're down by 7. If you don't make it, you're still down by 2 scores, 9. Sirianni made the decision to go for it, and they didn't get the 2 pointers. They were still down by 9, and you could see the team went, that is a deal. Now, I don't know if that's a good decision. Logic says, no, you go for 1, you give yourself a chance. If the team is still rolling on a little momentum, they're only 8 points down. You score a touchdown, then you get the 2-pointer. You tie the game. If you don't make that first 2-pointer the first time, then you're stuck. You need 2 scores in 5 minutes. Not easy to do. The logic says you go for the 1 point, but analytics are killing sports. Analytics, and we know the Eagles are big on analytics. Sirianni's an analytics guy, and analytics say you go for the 2. Well, analytics should be a part of every sport because you're not going to get everything. It's out of the box, and you're not going to be able to put analytics back in the box. So you do what you can with it. Analytics should be like a tool, like something you refer to as a guide, but it shouldn't be the Bible. It shouldn't be like, this is what we must do every time. Like the paper says we should, the computer says. Sometimes you got to use your gut feeling. Sometimes you got to watch the game. It's the flow of the game. And sometimes you have to use common sense. Common sense. And say, you know what? It's great if we make the two here, but what if we don't? We're still down 2 scores. Wouldn't you rather be down 1 score with 5 minutes to go? So, Sirianni, again. I know we weren't bitching last year when they won the Super Bowl. I get it. But it's a different year. It's a different team, as we're seeing. The fan base left early. Yeah, you know what? I don't blame the fans. I think early too. It's Black Friday evening. You want to go out, maybe to the bar, even though you've been drinking all day in the parking lot. Many of those fans were tanked going into the game. But Friday night, it's the weekend. You go out a little bit, right? You got a long ride home, get the car, you beat the traffic. It's cold as hell. You get in the car, right? I don't blame the fans. If the team was playing shitty, who's going to sit there in the cold and watch that crap? You know, the fans were loyal enough to pack that stadium yesterday and root the Eagles on from the beginning. But I would have left too early too. I said, let's go. Who wants to watch this shit, right? Get in the car when it's warm. You can listen to it on the radio on the way. So I don't blame the fans. Not one bit. Not one bit. Yeah, well, the rest of it, the rest of it is what we talked about already. You know, it's got to be a shame if they lose the #1 seed. Could they win in Los Angeles? Yeah. Could they win in Green Bay? Yeah. But when you have the home field advantage, that's part of football. That's what you want to get from training camp in the summer all the way to January. You want the home field advantage so that you could make these other teams come to you. Play in your environment, not their environment. It looks like the Rams are going to take the West, maybe have the #1 seed. Okay, that's fine. Maybe you're going to have to go out there and play them. It's indoors. All right. Green Bay's creeping back into the picture again. Which I hate to see because they're a dangerous team. Green Bay comes into Philadelphia, they're like the Bears. They know how to play the cold. They know how to play in the windy weather. You're going to play anybody, play the Rams. Look what happened last year in the playoffs. Rams came in and Eagles beat them in the snow. Rams almost beat them, but you know, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. You can't poo-poo it, the home field advantage. You got road fans behind you, and the weather, the elements are with you. So, I mean, Cowboys are creeping up. I don't worry about the Cowboys. They got a tough game as it is coming up next Thursday. They have to go into the Lions and play the Lions. Lions are pissed. They just lost on Thanksgiving to the Packers. The Lions know they need that game. I mean, they're behind the Packers and the Bears. If the Lions get into the playoffs, the Lions are going to be a wild card team. They're not winning the division, but they do have to win. Cowboys, Eagles could have put them out of their misery last Sunday, but they didn't do it. Cowboys win 2 games in 1 week. Beat the Super Bowl teams last year, Chiefs and Eagles. And now everybody's on Dallas. Well, yeah, they have a better team, but that doesn't mean they're going to do anything if they make the If they make the They better worry about beating the Lions next Thursday. But they are playing good. So that's what you have. That's what you have, you know? It is going to be interesting because I believe this weekend, maybe as I speak right now on Saturday morning, Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, Howie Roseman, the general manager of the Eagles, they're going to call Nick Sirianni on the carpet. They're going to say, what the hell was that? That we were supposed to do that? And they might give him a suggestion or two, even though Sirianni said yesterday in the press conference after the game, oh, we're not going to change the play calling. This is a team sport. Everybody's laid double. No. Lurie's going to say to them in a very persuasive way, probably today or tomorrow, look at you. You're going to change the offensive play. You're going to do it. So you're going to change the offensive play. You know? I mean, look at it this way, fans. We know what we have in Kevin Petula. We know he sucks. He's very vanilla calling the plays. We know that. So here's what he is, as they say. This is what you have for the rest of the season. What you don't know is if Nick Sirianni names somebody else to call the plays, they may be better, they may be worse. I don't know how much worse it could be, but why not give it a shot? If that's what it takes to motivate the players again. Because right now, let's face it, these players are dejected. Even before they walk on the field, you can see that in their faces. Like, we're not going to win. Wait, why are we even coming on the field? We're not going to win. I mean, but that's the way it looks, right? So, a little hope. You gotta give the fan base a little hope that you're at least trying. You're at least trying to fix things. But I don't know. The way it looks, even though Sirianni says he's trying behind the scenes, he's trying to find out what's wrong with this team. Maybe he just needs to step back, keep it simple, and say, yep, we need to change the offense coordinator and whoever's calling plays, and we need to, why not? Give it a shot, right? Give it a shot. Did I read it? Well, all I gotta say is, here's my final words. You know, let's hope whatever's going on with the Eagles, offensive line is hurt. Hopefully, Lane Johnson's going to be back sooner than Saquon Barkley. Hopefully, he's going to get his act together. Jalen Hurts. Whatever's wrong with the Eagles, and the defense was no bowl of cherries this year either. They couldn't stop Chicago worth a damn. Whatever is happening, hopefully they find answers and they start to play better when they get off this little bye, because they're not playing again until a week from Monday night in LA versus the Chargers. So whatever is ailing the Eagles, hopefully there's an answer and they apply that answer, and hopefully the team will be playing better. The scary thing is, either they don't know what's wrong or this team has checked out. And that, oh my God, I'll tell you what, if this team has thrown in the towel, if they have given up already, that's on Nick Sirianni more than anybody else, or the coordinator, anybody else. That's Nick Sirianni's neck out in the noose. You gotta hope that they haven't done that they haven't said we're giving up. We already won the Super Bowl last year. We don't need to win it twice in a row. Let somebody else win it. We're just going to hang out right here and enjoy the sunshine. So let's hope they have to do. You know, we want to see some exciting, good football toward the latter end of this season. 5 games left, my friends. they could still go 13-4 overall. They could, but they have a lot of winnable games on the schedule. But could they also lose 3 and win 2 in the next spot? Or win 3 and lose 2? Absolutely. You don't know what you're going to get from this team now. When they play the Chargers a week from Monday night, are they going to roll over dead again? Or are they going to come out with a little spirit and fight and say, no, 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 this is not over? Only the players have the ability to turn this thing around and change it. Only the players. So no matter what Nick Sirianni says, what scheduling puts him on, whatever, it's the players who automatically have to play the game and make the plays. Either the players can't do it or they don't want to do it, right? That's the bottom line right there. You can say, all right, Jalen Hurts, why did you hit the wide open Devontae Smith over the middle instantly? Huh? It would have been a first down there in Golden. Why didn't you throw the ball on? Why did you throw the ball in back of him? Why didn't you? Well, either he didn't want to do it or he wasn't capable of doing it. Either way, we're screwed. All right. So we got other football tomorrow, crappy football, because most of the premium games were on during Thanksgiving and Black Friday. So we kind of take the leftovers tomorrow, you know? Maybe you're having your leftover turkey, your leftover stuffing, your leftover corn. And that's what not the Eagles, that's what the NFL is going to be tomorrow. Leftovers. Which, yeah, you got leftovers, it could be good, it could be bad. Anyway, all right, I'll get over it. I'll be back probably Monday or Tuesday. We'll talk more stuff. And, hopefully by then the Eagles will find some answers. And hopefully by then the Phillies will find some answers too. So far, they're not doing shit. They're just hanging around out there at the general manager's meeting and probably sitting near the pool every day. Ugh. Let's hope they finally make a move too, huh? Okay, everybody. Well, go Birds. Hopefully they hang in there, you hang in there. That's what makes sports fun. You don't know what's going to happen, right? That's why we pay the money to go to the games. That's why we pay the money to watch it on TV, cable. That's why we buy the jerseys and the shirts, because we love the sport, and you don't know what's going to happen from week to week. So that's what makes sports intriguing and fun. Okay, everybody, have a great day. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday. Be back to the grind on Monday. A lot of people are back to work, back to school. And everybody enjoy the weekend while it lasts. Take care. Peace and love. Thanks for tuning into my Eagle Rant today. Let's hope we don't have too many more of these before the end of the year. Okay? But they're not fun. That's okay, everybody. Take care. Talk to you then. Bye.